All right, peace to the family. Welcome to another Supreme Numerics offering brought to you by Mr. Westbrook's class. And Supreme Numerics is the practical application and study of numerology to help you activate your personal power and achieve and attract abundance. So this video is your August 2025 numerology message. And as always, this is the universal message. If you want to know how this energy is affecting you on a more personal level, reach out to me. I'll show you how to calculate your personal month cycle. And if you want a full analysis, book a session with me, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, using the link in the description below to my website or to my booking page. And I will do a full analysis on your personal month cycle, personal year, personal week, personal day, or any questions that you can think of. I got you covered. So now the collective energy numerology message for August 2025 from my intuitive perspective. I got it right here. This is what I'm looking at right here. There's the numbers. There's the reflection in the message right there. So I'm about to give that to y'all. But the collective numerology message for this month from my intuitive perspective is to achieve success through a balance, a healthy balance of the material and spiritual plane. Now, this comes from the universal month, which is calculated by adding the universal year of 2025 plus the 8th calendar month of August, and that equals a compound number of 17. And when you reduce it down to a single digit to the root number, it adds up to an 8. Now, not only is August a 17-8 universal month, the word August, the expression of the word August, which is the sum total of the word, adds up to the number 17 in the Pythagorean system of numerology. So we see that message being reiterated or repeated in the expression number in one system of numerology as it's seen in the universal frequency of the month. Now, while the universal month represents the energy and the themes influencing us over the next 30 days, the expression number denotes the purpose of August and what August is here to show us and teach us. One of the meanings of the number 17 is that it's known as the 8-pointed star of Venus. And the message for you here is you may face some trials and tribulations, some obstacles this month, but don't become discouraged. Rest assured that after you overcome those tests, overcome those hurdles and those obstacles, you will rise superior. But overcoming those obstacles and passing those tests require discipline, which is the meaning or one of the meanings of the number 8 when we look at that single digit, when you reduce it down. Now, these are tests of our spirit, but when we pass those tests and overcome those challenges, we can bring forth material and financial prosperity and abundance. In the tarot deck, the number 17 is the star card that instructs us to achieve or find a balance between the material and the spiritual worlds, the physical world, and in terms of the spiritual world, purity of spirit. And by doing this, our thoughts and dreams can become real. And this is similar to the law of attraction. And if you notice from my July message, July was a 7 universal month, and number 7 is a law of attraction number. So you can think of this month of August, this 8th month of August, as an extension of the month of July, that spiritual number 7 that was influencing us in July. So we're not getting rid of that spirituality. In fact, you're going to see the number 7 come up in August. You already see it in the number 17, the 7 behind that 1. So that spiritual intuitive side is backing up that 1, backing up that drive, that ambition, that work of the number 1 to bring us to that abundance and attracting that material. And now abundance doesn't always mean money. Abundance can be anything that's positive, that you can draw into you. But going back to that pure spirit, the pure spirit, or maintaining or having a pure spirit, keeps us from becoming power hungry, which is one of the challenging sides of the number 8. And it keeps us from reaping destruction, since the number 8 is that cause and effect number. You reap what you sow, what you put out is what you get back. Now, I mentioned the expression number of the word August in the Pythagorean system, but we also have this message of achieving success in the Chaldean system when we look at the expression number. In the Chaldean system, August adds up to the number 23, which is the royal star of the lion. And this is a number of success and achievement. And success and achievement for the future with the assistance of people in high places and in positions of power. So be open to receiving that help if this message applies to you. Now, the height of this month of August will probably be the Lionsgate portal that occurs on August 8th, 8/8. See those 8s again. And during this Lionsgate portal on 8/8, the sun reaches its peak in the sign of Leo in alignment with the star Sirius and the Earth. And this is said to be a time of intention setting, manifestation, connecting with the higher self, and self-transformation. Now, doesn't that sound similar to the lessons of the word August in its expression, as well as the energy that's influencing us under this 17/8 universal month? We see that balance of the spiritual side connecting with the higher self and setting intentions. And then we see the material and physical side with manifesting what we desire into the physical world. Lionsgate is the peak, but in my humble opinion, we can ride this wave all month. So in summation, people who have a background on the symbology of the 8 often emphasize the material side of the number 8. They see it as a money number, the number of abundance, especially if you see it as an angel number, 88888. It's like, oh, abundance is coming to me. Wealth and money is coming to me. And this is all true in a sense, but it must be balanced with that connection to that higher spiritual self and having a pure, peaceful, and loving spirit, which is another meaning of the number 17. Also, nothing comes without hard work and discipline, to reemphasize the meaning of that number 8. And that's hard work and discipline, both spiritually as well as physically. Listen, man, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. And we even see this message of putting in the work and putting in that discipline in the urge of the word August. Now, the inner urge is referring to the vowels of the word August. I just talked about the expression number, which is the sum total of the word August, but the inner urge gives us insights into our inner needs, inner desires, and additional context in the hidden meaning behind the word August, apart from what we see in the forefront with the 23-5 and also the 17-8. Now, the vowels in the Chaldean system of August add up to the 13-4. So we talked about the 13-4 in the previous month. I believe it was April. I think April was the 13-4 month, which is all about putting in that hard work and that discipline, working harder than hard. And we also talked about the number 13 as the number of transformation when we look at that death card in tarot. So you can have the abundance of the 8. You can experience powerful transformation in the process, but you got to do the work. And you got to use your power responsibly. That's another lesson of the number 13. And when that abundance and those materials start flowing into you, especially when it's money, the discipline doesn't go away. You got to maintain the discipline. And by maintaining the discipline and learning the language of currency and how currency works, you can keep your abundance, you can grow your abundance, and you can even pass that abundance along to future generations under this legacy leaving energy. So that is the message that I have for you from my perspective for the month of August. Now let's get into our reflection and journal questions. These questions you can meditate on. You can respond to them in your journal if you're into journaling. Now I have 3 questions, not in any particular order, just the order that I came up with them. So the first question is, what forms of abundance do I want to begin manifesting this month? And I say begin because you may start the process, the manifestation process this month, but it might not come into fruition or materialize until a later time, until next month or a couple months down the line or next year, whenever it is. But just think about that. What forms of abundance do I want to begin manifesting? And, become very clear on that and visualize it. Going back to that number 7. And going back to that number 7 before I go to the other 2 reflection questions, I mentioned the 7 behind that 1 for the number 17, but the number 7 also shows up in the motivation number in the Pythagorean system. So the motivation number is the same thing as the inner urge. I'm just referring to the inner urge in the Chaldean system and the motivation number in the Pythagorean system. So in the Pythagorean system, the vowels add up to the number 7, which is another reminder to tap into our spirituality, not to neglect our spirituality by overemphasizing the material side of things. So your second question for this month is, what does success and achievement look like for me? Now, 1 and 2 might be similar, but, or they might be different to you. So I decided to give you both of these questions just in case you answer these questions differently. Your forms of abundance might be the same things as success and achievement for you, or they might be different. So you can choose to answer all 3 of these, or you can combine 1 and 2 together. And now your third question for this month: in what ways can I be more disciplined in my spirituality and in my physical work or vocation or career or my business. So this is addressing that balance between the material and the spiritual side, the physical and the spiritual side, spirit versus matter. Remember, you got to have both. Got to have that balance of both. And both require discipline, spiritual discipline and physical discipline. So this has been your August 2025 numerology message from Supreme Numerics. Let's make it a great month filled with joy, abundance, fulfillment. And I'll see you next time on Supreme Numerics on Mr. Westbrook's class right here on YouTube. Peace.